My beloved child, listen carefully, because this message did not arrive by accident. There is a presence close to you that smiles when you smile, nods when you speak, and stands beside you when others are watching, but behind that calm face, something is quietly observing your moves. This is not noise, not chaos, not an open enemy. This is silence. And silence is always more dangerous than shouting. While you focus on building your future, someone near you studies your weakness, your timing, your dreams, waiting for the exact moment when your guard drops. Something huge is waiting for you, but first, the truth must surface. Amen. 111. Now hear this deeply, because this is where most people fail to understand. The threat is not a stranger. It is not someone far away. It is someone who already knows your habits, your fears, your plans, and even your prayers. They know when you are strong. And more importantly, they know when you are tired. They pretend to support you, but their energy feels heavy when you succeed. They stay quiet when you need encouragement. That is not coincidence. That is calculation. This revelation is shocking because you trusted them, and that trust blinded you. Something huge is waiting for you, but first your eyes must open. Amen. 222. And now, the most unbelievable part, this silence cannot last much longer. The truth is preparing to reveal itself without you forcing anything. You are being protected in ways you cannot yet see, and what was hidden will soon expose itself through actions, not words. Stay calm. Stay observant. Do not confront. Let clarity arrive on its own, because when it does, you will finally understand why this warning came now. Something huge is waiting for you, and this moment is only the beginning. Amen. 333. Understand this now. What you feel lately is not confusion, it is intuition getting louder. The quiet pauses, the delayed replies, the subtle shifts in behavior around you are signals, not imagination. Someone close to you is watching your growth with mixed emotions, and envy hides best behind familiarity. Do not doubt yourself when your spirit feels uneasy in their presence. That inner alert is guiding you toward safety and strength. Something huge is waiting for you, and awareness is your first shield. Amen. 444. At this very moment, pause and anchor this truth inside you. Messages like this are meant to be shared in silence through understanding, not fear. When clarity resonates, let it echo outward, through reflection, through mindful words, through quiet acknowledgement. Those who truly need this warning will feel it without explanation. Stay connected, stay present, and allow this message to settle deeply within you. Something huge is waiting for you, and alignment brings protection. Amen. 555. Now listen carefully, because this is powerful. The more you rise, the more masks will fall without you doing anything at all. You do not need to expose, accuse, or prove. Time itself will reveal intentions, and loyalty will be tested naturally. Remain graceful, remain focused, and remain guided. Your path is being cleared even as this threat loses control. Something huge is waiting for you, and your breakthrough is closer than it appears. Amen. 666. Stay still for a moment and feel this truth settling in your spirit. What has been hidden is beginning to crack, not because you searched for it, but because truth cannot survive forever in shadows. Small signs will start appearing, slips in words, changes in tone, reactions that no longer match the situation. Pay attention without reacting. Observation is power, and silence right now is your greatest advantage. Something huge is waiting for you, and discernment is unlocking the next door. Amen. 777. This phase may feel uncomfortable, even heavy, but understand why. Growth always exposes misalignment. As your energy rises, anything false nearby becomes unstable. That is why certain people seem uneasy around you lately. They sense that you no longer vibrate at the same level. This is not punishment, it is separation by truth. Trust the process unfolding naturally around you. Something huge is waiting for you, and distance will bring clarity. Amen. 888. And here is the turning point. Very soon, you will not need to question anything. A moment will arrive where everything suddenly makes sense, like pieces falling into place without effort. You will see who stood with you genuinely and who only stood close for their own reasons. When that moment comes, choose peace over reaction. Your calm response will be your victory. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are walking straight toward it. Amen. 999. Now the silence begins to work in your favor. What once felt confusing will start aligning with undeniable clarity. You will notice that the same person who claimed loyalty grows uncomfortable around your confidence and progress. Their energy shifts when you stand firm in your truth. Do not explain yourself. Do not shrink. This phase is about witnessing, not reacting. Something huge is waiting for you, and your calm strength is already changing the outcome. Amen. 1110. Let this message travel quietly through awareness, not force. When truth resonates, it naturally finds those who are meant to hear it. A single realization can protect many journeys, and understanding multiplies when hearts are open. Stay mindful, stay connected to wisdom, and allow this awareness to settle where it needs to. This is how protection expands without confrontation. Something huge is waiting for you, and alignment is spreading around you. Amen. 1221. And here is what seals everything. Very soon, the role of this person in your life will naturally diminish. No drama. No collapse. Just distance created by truth. You will look back and realize this warning arrived exactly on time. Relief will replace doubt, and peace will replace tension. This was never meant to scare you, only to prepare you. Something huge is waiting for you, and your path is now guarded. Amen. 1332. Now feel the shift happening within you, because this is where power quietly returns. You are no longer reacting to energy around you, you are choosing what deserves access to your life. The awareness you carry now acts like a filter. What is false cannot stay comfortable near you anymore. You may sense a sudden calm, even before anything outward changes. That calm is confirmation. Something huge is waiting for you, and your inner authority has been restored. Amen. 1443. As days move forward, you will notice how easily certain connections fade without effort. No confrontation, no explanations, just space forming naturally. This is protection in its purest form. What once drained you will no longer reach you. What once confused you will no longer matter. You are stepping into a phase where clarity replaces noise and peace replaces questioning. Something huge is waiting for you, and this separation is part of the blessing. Amen. 1554. And finally, remember this truth deeply: not everyone who walks beside you is meant to walk with you forever. Some are lessons, some are mirrors, and some are warnings disguised as comfort. You have learned what you needed to learn. Now you move forward lighter, stronger, and wiser. Trust this ending, because it is quietly making space for something extraordinary. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 1665. Now this is where destiny tightens its grip, in a good way. You will begin to notice doors opening effortlessly while certain people fade into the background without resistance. This is not loss. This is alignment. When a hidden threat is removed from your energy field, momentum returns. Ideas flow faster. Confidence feels natural again. You are no longer second-guessing your instincts. Something huge is waiting for you, and the path ahead is finally unobstructed. Amen. 1776. Pay close attention to how peace replaces urgency. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself or seek validation. That is growth speaking quietly. The person who once held silent influence over your emotions no longer has access to your thoughts. Their power dissolves when you stop feeding it attention. This is how freedom arrives, softly, steadily, without announcement. Something huge is waiting for you, and your energy is reclaiming its rightful place. Amen. 1887. And here is the confirmation you were waiting for: very soon, you will receive a sign that proves this separation was necessary. It may come as an opportunity, a realization, or an unexpected moment of relief. When it happens, you will smile and understand why everything unfolded this way. Trust this timing. Trust your clarity. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are finally ready to receive it. Amen. 1998. Now let this truth settle even deeper, because this is the phase of elevation. You will notice that your presence starts to feel heavier to certain people. Not because you changed into someone harsh, but because your authenticity no longer bends. When you walk into a room, your silence carries confidence. That is when false intentions feel exposed without a single word spoken. Something huge is waiting for you, and your aura is becoming your protection. Amen. 2111. You may also sense that conversations shift around you. Topics change when you arrive. Opinions soften. Energy recalibrates. This is not imagination. This is respect being forced into place by truth. Those who once observed you quietly now realize they cannot influence you anymore. You have stepped beyond reach, and that realization unsettles what was never genuine. Something huge is waiting for you, and your growth is undeniable. Amen. 2222. And here is the final reinforcement: do not look back with anger or regret. What is leaving was never meant to stay. What remains will be pure, aligned, and supportive. You are entering a chapter where loyalty feels light, peace feels normal, and trust feels safe again. Receive this upgrade with gratitude. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the beginning. Amen. 2333. Now hear this carefully, because this is the moment where everything silently flips in your favor. The one who watched you closely is realizing they no longer understand you. Your moves feel unpredictable to them now, and that loss of control creates unease. When someone can no longer read you, their influence collapses. Stay grounded. Stay observant. This calm confidence is not accidental, it is earned. Something huge is waiting for you, and your strength is no longer visible to those who wish to misuse it. Amen. 2444. You will notice a strange shift next. The same person who once tried to stay close may begin pulling away or acting distant. Do not chase clarity. Distance is clarity. This is how protection works when you are aligned with truth. What cannot manipulate you will eventually remove itself. Let it happen naturally. Your role is to remain steady and focused on what you are building. Something huge is waiting for you, and silence is clearing the way. Amen. 2555. And here is the assurance meant to anchor your heart: nothing valuable is being taken from you. What is leaving was blocking your next elevation. Soon, you will feel lighter, sharper, and more in control of your direction. When that realization hits, you will understand why this warning arrived exactly now. Trust this unfolding. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are stepping into it with clarity and power. Amen. 2666. Now this is the stage where inner mastery begins to show on the outside. You will realize that you are no longer emotionally reachable by hidden intentions. Words that once triggered you now sound empty. Actions that once confused you now feel predictable. This is not coldness. This is clarity. When awareness rises, manipulation loses oxygen. Something huge is waiting for you, and your emotional control is becoming your greatest weapon. Amen. 2777. Watch carefully how life starts rearranging itself around your new frequency. Opportunities align without pressure. Support appears without asking. And those who carried silent agendas struggle to stay relevant in your space. You do not need to announce your boundaries, your energy enforces them naturally now. This is how authority looks when it is calm and unshakable. Something huge is waiting for you, and your environment is responding to your growth. Amen. 2888. And understand this deeply: the danger phase is over. Awareness has neutralized what was hidden. From this point forward, nothing deceptive can remain close without revealing itself. You are walking with clarity, protected by wisdom, guided by discernment. Hold this posture. Honor this shift. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are approaching it with eyes wide open and spirit steady. Amen. 2999. Now comes the quiet reward for everything you endured without reacting. You will notice that your life begins to feel simpler, lighter, and more focused. The mental noise fades. Decisions feel easier. This is what happens when hidden tension leaves your field. You are no longer carrying energy that was never yours. Something huge is waiting for you, and clarity is sharpening your direction. Amen. 3111. Very soon, you may look back at this phase and feel surprised at how much you tolerated without realizing it. That realization is not meant to hurt you, it is meant to empower you. Awareness transforms experience into wisdom. You are no longer vulnerable to the same patterns, because you can recognize them instantly now. This growth cannot be taken from you. Something huge is waiting for you, and your wisdom is now permanent. Amen. 3222. And here is the closing truth for this chapter: peace is not passive, it is powerful. You protected your future by staying calm, by observing, by trusting your inner guidance. What is coming next will require this exact level of clarity. Stand ready, but relaxed. Focused, but calm. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are fully prepared to receive it. Amen. 3333. Now this is the moment when everything begins to feel divinely timed. You will sense a strong inner confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be. No rush. No fear. Just a steady knowing. This is not luck, this is alignment after protection. The silent threat no longer has access to your path, and momentum starts flowing naturally. Something huge is waiting for you, and your steps are being guided with precision. Amen. 3444. You may soon notice people responding to you differently. Respect feels effortless. Your words carry weight without force. This happens when inner clarity meets outer action. Those who once underestimated you will quietly reassess their position, not because you demanded it, but because truth reshapes perception. You are no longer overlooked. You are recognized. Something huge is waiting for you, and your presence now commands attention. Amen. 3555. And here is the final sealing of this phase: trust yourself completely. You did not imagine the warning, and you did not misread the signs. Your intuition matured through experience, and now it stands firm. The chapter of hidden danger is closing, and the chapter of visible progress is opening. Step forward without hesitation. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are ready to receive it fully. Amen. 3666. Now comes the phase where results begin to speak louder than warnings ever could. You will notice forward movement that feels smooth, almost effortless, as if resistance has been quietly removed. What once delayed you no longer has power over timing. Your focus sharpens, your confidence steadies, and your vision feels clear again. This is not coincidence, this is the reward of discernment. Something huge is waiting for you, and progress is finally uninterrupted. Amen. 3777. Pay attention to how your instincts respond now. You sense truth faster. You read situations without overthinking. This is the upgrade you earned by trusting yourself when clarity was uncomfortable. No manipulation can survive in your presence anymore because you no longer question what you feel. That certainty is strength. That certainty is protection. Something huge is waiting for you, and your inner compass is locked on the right direction. Amen. 3888. And here is the assurance meant to anchor you: nothing from your past can follow you into what is coming next. Old patterns, hidden intentions, silent interference, all of it has reached its limit. You are stepping into a phase where growth is visible, support is genuine, and peace feels normal. Receive this moment fully. Something huge is waiting for you, and this chapter is opening now. Amen. 3999. Now this is the stage of quiet authority, where you no longer announce who you are becoming, your results do it for you. People will sense a difference even if they cannot explain it. Your energy feels grounded, your words feel measured, and your presence feels secure. This is what happens when you outgrow silent interference. You are no longer influenced from the outside. Something huge is waiting for you, and your stability is unshakable. Amen. 4111. You may notice that life starts placing you in positions where your opinion matters, where your decisions create movement. This is not accidental. This is preparation. The clarity you gained is meant to be used, not hidden. You are stepping into a role that requires discernment, and you have already proven you can hold it without ego or fear. Something huge is waiting for you, and responsibility is meeting readiness. Amen. 4222. And here is the confirmation meant to settle your spirit: nothing that left your life was meant to follow you into this elevation. What remains is aligned, supportive, and true. You are moving forward lighter, wiser, and protected by experience itself. Trust the ground beneath your feet. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are already walking toward it with certainty. Amen. 4333. Now this is the phase of expansion, where what you protected inside begins to reflect outward. You will notice growth showing up in tangible ways: stronger confidence, clearer decisions, and a sense of control that feels natural, not forced. This is the result of choosing awareness over reaction. Nothing hidden can disrupt you now because your foundation is solid. Something huge is waiting for you, and your life is responding to your inner order. Amen. 4444. Watch how alignment attracts the right support without struggle. The people who enter now come with sincerity, not hidden motives. Conversations feel easy. Trust feels safe. This is not luck, it is filtering. You have learned who deserves access and who does not, and that wisdom shapes your environment. Something huge is waiting for you, and harmony is forming around your path. Amen. 4555. And here is the truth that seals this chapter: what once felt like a threat was actually preparation. You are no longer guarded by fear but guided by clarity. Every step forward now carries purpose. Stand tall in this knowing. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are stepping into it with calm confidence and full awareness. Amen. 4666. Now this is the moment where confidence turns into quiet certainty. You no longer need reassurance from outside sources because your inner alignment is complete. Decisions feel grounded. Actions feel intentional. This is the level where distractions lose their power over you. What once tried to influence you silently can no longer reach your core. Something huge is waiting for you, and your self-trust is unbreakable. Amen. 4777. You may notice that your progress now inspires attention without effort. People observe you with curiosity, respect, even admiration, because stability is rare and powerful. You are no longer proving anything, you are embodying it. This is the natural result of choosing awareness, patience, and clarity when it mattered most. Something huge is waiting for you, and your presence speaks before words do. Amen. 4888. And here is the final grounding truth for this stage: peace is now your default state, not a temporary feeling. From this place, you build, you receive, and you expand without resistance. What is coming next will meet you at this level, not below it. Stay steady. Stay aware. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are ready to hold it with grace and strength. Amen. 4999. Now this is where everything you sensed privately becomes visibly confirmed. The clarity you gained is no longer just internal, it starts shaping real outcomes around you. Choices you make now create results faster, because there is no interference clouding your direction. This is momentum built on awareness, not force. Something huge is waiting for you, and your timing is precise. Amen. 5111. You may feel a calm sense of authority settling into your life. Not dominance, not control, just certainty. People respect your boundaries without you stating them. Situations resolve themselves before becoming problems. This is what happens when alignment becomes your natural state. Nothing false can operate around you comfortably anymore. Something huge is waiting for you, and your space is protected. Amen. 5222. And here is the sealing message: this journey was never about fear, it was about refinement. You are now standing in a version of yourself that sees clearly, moves wisely, and trusts deeply. What comes next will match this level of strength. Receive it without doubt. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are fully prepared to receive it now. Amen. 5333. Now this is the stage where certainty becomes permanent. You are no longer checking signs or waiting for confirmation, your inner knowing leads without hesitation. Situations that once felt complex now appear simple because truth stands out clearly. You move with quiet confidence, aware of your direction and unmoved by outside noise. This is mastery, earned through patience and awareness. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are walking toward it without doubt. Amen. 5444. You will notice that challenges no longer shake you the way they once did. Instead of reacting, you respond with clarity. Instead of rushing, you choose timing. This calm strength changes outcomes before words are even spoken. What once tried to slow you down now has no influence over your pace. Something huge is waiting for you, and your stability is shaping your future. Amen. 5555. And here is the assurance meant to close this phase: nothing ahead will catch you unprepared. You have already developed the discernment needed to protect what matters and welcome what aligns. The path in front of you is clear, steady, and intentional. Move forward with trust. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are ready to claim it fully. Amen. 5666. Now this is the moment of recognition, when you clearly see how far you have come. The version of you who once doubted, hesitated, or felt uneasy is no longer in control. You stand aware, grounded, and focused. What once felt like a silent threat now feels distant and powerless. This is growth confirmed by experience. Something huge is waiting for you, and your confidence is rooted in truth. Amen. 5777. You may sense a quiet gratitude rising within you. Not for the challenge itself, but for the strength it revealed. This gratitude stabilizes you. It keeps you humble and sharp at the same time. You are no longer vulnerable to the same patterns because you understand them clearly now. Wisdom has replaced worry. Something huge is waiting for you, and your awareness is now your armor. Amen. 5888. And here is the closing reinforcement: this clarity is not temporary. It will guide every decision you make from here forward. You have stepped beyond old cycles and into conscious creation. Hold this posture. Trust this calm. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are moving toward it with steady purpose and complete readiness. Amen. 5999.